Welcome to the next session. So in this today's class, we are going into analysis of three-hinged arches in our structural analysis 2. So in the last class, we have already learned about different types of arches based on their shape as well as based on their support condition. Based on shape, we have three types, that is parabolic type and when you observe the shape of arch as parabola, we can say that arch as parabolic. Or when we observe circular segment as the shape of that arch, we call that as circular arch. Or there is a small portion or very small portion of a very large circle. That type of arches we call that as segmented type arches. These are the arches based on their shapes. When we coming into end condition, when there is different end condition combinations, such as we are having different hinged supports and different fixed supports. When there is three hinges on the arch, we can say that as three-hinged arch. Or it is having two hinges at the supports, that is two-hinged arch. And it is having fixity at both the supports, that is fixed arch. So like this, we have classified our arches based on their support conditions or end conditions, right? Now we are going into the first type of arch, that is three-hinged arch. So three-hinged arch, we have went into the introduction of the three-hinged arch also, right? So in this three-hinged arch, we can observe a hinge at this point, nothing but at the support, another hinge at the other support, and in between these two, another hinge is there on the rib of the arch. Another hinge on the rib or arch shape of the arch. May be at the center or may not be at the center. So this third hinge is being on the rib in between these two supports, right? So that again I have given here for you an arch hinged at both the supports and having third hinge anywhere in the rib. Having third hinge anywhere in the rib is called three-hinged arch. So generally we are having arches based on their shape, we call that as arch. And it is having three hinges, two are being at the support, third is being on any point on the rib. This portion we call that as rib of arch. Okay. On the rib of arch we are observing another hinge. These two supports in the structural manner, what we call abutments. Abutments is the another name for a support. Okay. So we have already given these conditions also, but for the analysis, for getting your clarity, I have again added here. Okay. So we are saying a three-hinged arch as statically determinate structure. It is statically determinate. We can determine the external reactions of that arch with the available equilibrium condition. Statically determinate means only the support reactions are being determined with the available equilibrium equations. How many equilibrium equations are available and how many unknowns were there? That is our next target. So number of reaction components are 4. 2 at each support, because that is being a hinge, simply like a hinge, it will give a vertical as well as horizontal reaction. Even it is being connected to a beam or an arch. Okay, the hinge is always a hinge and this is providing two reactions. Why it is providing two reactions? Because the hinge is stopping the body to go down. The hinge is stopping the body to go in the horizontal direction. how many directions we are restricting the structure, in those directions we will get reactions. How many directions we are stopping? If I am stopping the body to resist the movement as well, nothing but we are resisting the rotation, that thing is available in fixity. It is stopping horizontal movement, it is stopping vertical movement, and it is resisting the body to go down. So these three are the reactions in the fixed end, and these two are the reactions at hinged condition. So these are the support reactions. Now we are having hinge support, and on both the supports we are having two equations. So totally 4 unknown reactions. If it is having support A and support B, VA, VB, HA, HB. These 4 are our unknowns, right? So next thing, calculation or counting the available static equilibrium equations. So available static equilibrium equations. What are the general equilibrium equations available? Sum of all the horizontal forces is equal to 0. Sum of all the vertical forces is equal to 0. Clockwise moments is equal to anti-clockwise moment, or moment about any support is equal to 0, either on the left or on the right. That point is also 0. So using that condition, I have mentioned here, sum of all the forces in x direction is equal to 0. Sum of all the forces in top to bottom or bottom to top, like vertically upward and downward to upward, summing up all the forces, and then sum of all the moments about any support is equal to 0. These 3 are the main equilibrium equations, but here we have mentioned 4 equilibrium equations are available. So that next one is adding due to that hinge in the intermediate of the arch, right? So as we have said, our arch is having an internal or intermediate hinge on the rib. So generally a hinge will not resist any moment. That's why at that C point or at that internal hinge point there is no moment. So that new equation we got from that is, at the hinge which is located at the crown, the bending moment is 0. The hinge which is located at the crown, the bending moment is 0. That's why we have got another static equilibrium equation. Using these 4 equations, we can get 4 unknowns, right? So how we will get? I said I will get. So using these conditions, we can calculate like that. We are giving the statement. So with our steps, we will analyze that arch structure. So simply you can observe 3 hinged arches which are constructed with 3 hinges at the 2 supports, and here also you can observe some three hinged arches. So these 3 hinged arches are being developed for getting an arch which is producing larger span. Okay, so how this arch is, or a 3-hinged arch is beneficial than a beam condition, that we will came to know. Okay, so here I am having an example. Before saying arch is better than beam, I need to take an example of arch, and now I will compare that is with the respected beam which is producing some span. Okay, so I am taking an example. See here, a 3-hinged arch consists of 2 segments. Each of the part is hinged at the permanent support. So those positions were fixed. Even though it is being hinged, that arch structure is being hinged, but the location of the hinge is on a fixed support. So we are having an abutment, and in that we are having an hinge that is being connected to that 3-hinged arch. So like this way you can observe here. So this hinge is simply working as a connector for the arch and abutment. Hinge is being working as connection for this arch and abutment or the support which is provided. So, on the two supports, we are having two hinges, and here is our arch and with a internal hinge. So, for that application we have given some load, we can go it in the next step. So, only observe the main thing which is explained here. Okay. So, a three-hinged arch consists of two segments. So, two segments. Each of the part is being hinged permanently at the supports and which is nothing but an abutment at its lower end. Right? So, this is another indication, a simple line diagram indicating two segments connected with a crown, and at the bottom there is a hinge. This is the general application, and this we indicate when we need to write the reaction forces. See the arrows and the hinges. Here you can observe the practical structure. Now we are writing the line diagram which is indicating the reaction forces. Sorry. And this is the span, the distance between support to support, or after constructing you can calculate this measurement between the supports or span of that arch. Right? Next, the third hinge C. In the previous step we have mentioned about two hinges only, that is A and B, which are located at the supports, and the third hinge C is provided at the highest point or of the center line of the arch. Simply here we are having an arch, and that is the third hinge. Here support hinges, and which is being located on a fixed abutment or the support. Right? So, this is our structure. The horizontal distance between two lower hinges A and B is called as span of the arch. Span of the arch. And then the hinges A and B may or may not be at the same level. Right? Maybe due to some conditions I have given this B support at this. So, the arch will look up to this and then it will be hinged. Okay. So, the supports A and B may or may not be at the same level. If or when the hinges A and B are at the same level. I am taking one condition when these two are at the same level. We are having two possibilities. AB supports at the same level or may not be at the same level. One thing, firstly I am taking those two supports are at the same level. Now, the height of the crown above the level of lower hinges is called, what is that? In the last class also we have discussed about these definitions. Span, rise, keystone. Please remember again and again. When we are listening through online, please keep your mind into the class. Okay? The height of the crown. How much is the height? We will calculate at the lower level of the hinges up to the crown point or up to the lower level of the hinge. That is rise of the arch. So, span and rise, that vertical rise of the arch is mentioned like this. Now, the external load is trying to cause increase in span as the load is being applied on the arch like this. Vertically downward direction it is trying to apply. Now what it is trying? It is trying to suppress the rise, as it is working like it is trying to suppress the rise. As it is going down, these points are trying to move away. So what it means? They are trying to increase the span. They are trying to increase the span. So as the vertical load is trying to cause increase in the span length. Since if we allow the structure to go down, what happens? The arch shape will not be maintained. The structure itself will get collapsed, or the entrance where we have mentioned this arch will get disturbed, right? So we are trying to stop this increase in the span. So this is L0, and due to application it may reach to some L. But is it allowable? No, we shouldn't allow the span to increase. How much span we have given while we are constructing, that should be maintained, right? So since neither the vertical nor the horizontal movements are possible at the lower hinges, the reactions at each hinge A and B will have vertical and horizontal components. Just now we have said how many directions we are resisting or we are not allowing. In that directions only reactions generate, right? So when it is moving in this direction happily, no one is stopping, so it will move on. But when I am stopping only, it will still try to go away. That's why it is giving the reaction component. How much it is trying to go away, my support or the reaction is coming to stop them. So since neither the vertical nor the horizontal movements are possible at the lower hinge, we are not allowing the vertical or horizontal, right? So vertical and horizontal movements are not possible at the hinge, nothing but lower hinge, okay? At the lower hinge, the reactions at A and B, the reactions at A and B will have both vertical and horizontal components. When the end A and B are at the same level, okay, and A and B are at the same level, the vertical reactions VA and VB. So as our structure is having these reactions, just now we came to know, yes, we are stopping the structure to move away, and the hinge is stopping to go down as well. So the position is fixed. There is no horizontal, there is no vertical movement. That's why we are having reactions at two supports also. Now the reactions which are produced by us, because we are stopping them. If we leave, there is no reaction. It will happily move away. It will get collapsed and go down. The structure will be removed. So, but we are stopping the structure to increase its span by stopping with the supports. The reactions VA and VB will be generated. And how we will determine? That may be determined as, in case of a simply supported beam of same span carrying same loading. Okay, even for VA and VB calculation in the arches also, again we will use the same concept of simply supported beam, right? So for getting these unknowns, we are using the same concepts such as simply supported beam, and that simply supported beam having span of arch. So this arch is having this is the arch and this is span, right? So we will consider or calculate this VA and VB by taking a simply supported beam of same span as arch. Okay, this span is different from arch complete length. Okay, that was different. This is span. Okay, so the dimension of this span we are taking for beam. So a beam with same span as arch will be taken, and solving this beam we will get VA and VB. So for VA and VB only we have got that condition, right? So the next condition, the vertical reactions VA and VB will be determined by equating the clockwise moment to the anti-clockwise moment of the forces on the structure about any of the lower end. Is it clear? Okay. Generally, for a simply supported beam, how we will calculate support reactions? Just think about, we are having a simply supported beam like this and it is having a pointer like this. Please don't think about arch. Only think about a simply supported beam of length L. Okay. Now, how we will calculate the support reactions? How we will calculate the support reactions? First thing, we will write VA plus VB is equal to total downward applied load. Sum of all the vertical forces is equal to 0. That is same as total upward forces is equal to totally downward forces. So this is one equation, but we are having two unknowns, VA and VB were there. So another equation how we will write, that is moment about any support, right? So about A or about B we will write sigma sum of all the moments about any support is equal to 0. So using this condition we will get either VA or VB based on the support what we have taken. Then I have written sigma MA is equal to 0. Then what it will give? VB answer will be generated because VB into L I can get, right? So the answer of VB will be coming. And sigma MB is equal to 0. About B we are taking the moments. What it will give? Sigma MA will give the output of VB because in the equation itself I am having VB only, the final answer will be in VBs. And if I am taking sigma MB, VA will be generated. So in this way I can get any one reaction and using the next condition we can get another reaction. So these two equations are helping us for calculating vertical support reactions in simply supported beam. So in the previous statement what we have said, even in the arches also we can take the same concept like a simply supported beam. So in this 3-hinged arches also I am taking the same concept such as the simply supported beam is giving. So now understand the statement. Okay. The vertical reactions VA and VB can be determined by equating clockwise moments to the anti-clockwise moments of the forces on the structure. We need to consider all the forces on the structure about any of the lower end. About A or about B, we need to write sigma MA or sigma MB. Using that, sum of all the clockwise moments about A is equal to sum of all the anti-clockwise moments about A. Using that condition, we can get support reactions. That is vertical support reaction only. But I am having horizontal thrust, right? Now, the horizontal component of the reaction at the either of the lower end is called, what is the name of the horizontal component? We have given that name as horizontal thrust. Horizontal component of reaction, we called it as horizontal thrust at that support. Okay. So, as these two supports are at the same level, the horizontal thrust will be same. So, HA is equal to HB. The horizontal component of the reaction at the lower end, any of the lower end, is called as horizontal thrust. If the loading system is applied, the same loading system is applied on the arch is entirely vertical. If the loading system applied on the arch is completely vertical only, whatever the shape of the arch, our load is completely vertical, the horizontal thrust at A is same as horizontal thrust at B. So, if the arch is like this, but it is having same conditional vertical loads only. So, the horizontal reaction at A and horizontal reaction at B will be same. If A and B are at the same level, again the loading system is vertical only, there is no horizontal load. Again this horizontal reaction at A and horizontal reaction at B are same, right? Now we will go into the summary, then we will go into the analysis with individual equations. So, today's class we have came into the concept of analysis of three-hinged arches. So, the three-hinged arches we need to analyze. Before analyzing, we need to classify the structure is determinate or not. So, how we will classify the structure is determinate or not? Calculating unknowns, unknown reactions and calculating available equilibrium equations. So, after calculating the unknown reactions and calculating the available equilibrium equations, I can classify the structure is statically determinate or not. Okay, once we have classified the concept of three-hinged arch and came into the concept like two hinges will provide two horizontal and vertical reactions each. So, total 4 unknowns here, and due to the third hinge we are having one equilibrium equation and general equilibrium equations are 3. So, total 4 equations. So, 4 unknowns and equations, okay. The structure is being determined. Now, how we will calculate these unknown reactions? Just we have made a statement like our structure is determinate, right? So, the structure is determinate, okay. Then, how we will develop these support reactions? HA, HB, VA and VB. These these 4 values needed to be calculated using equilibrium conditions. So, VA and VB, how we will calculate these two support vertical reactions? Either we can use like a simply supported beam of same span is acting, a simply supported beam of same span as arch is working. In that way only our arch reactions also to be calculated. So, VA and VB will be calculated with basic vertical equilibrium equation and using another equation about sum of all the moments about any of the lower end. This VA and VB will be calculated. And the next thing, horizontal thrust. This HA and HB will be equal. The horizontal thrust at the support is horizontal component reaction. This HA and HB will be equal when the entire loading system on the structure is purely vertical only. When the structure is having pure vertical loads, when this three-hinged arch is having pure vertical loads, this A, B and C. Now the horizontal component A, horizontal component at B will be same. Without knowing the level of the support also, I can say HA and HB are equal because the loading is purely vertical. So in the next class, we will go into the calculation of VA, VB and horizontal thrust. Thank you.